Hey friends, welcome back to Gloves Off. My name is David Rice. I'm the chief editor here at DentistryIQ. Back again with my friend
Tija Hunter.
Tia. How are you?
I'm great today.
We have a fun topic today. So dentists, buckle up because we're going to talk about team shortages and let's be honest, we're going to talk about our role in that. So Tia, what are you seeing out there?
It's crazy, isn't it? We are shorthanded. I hate the word staff, as you know. We are shorthanded in our practices. And how long do we have for this topic? Because we could talk for a couple of days, I think, on this.
Oh, gosh,
and you know, I hear both sides of it because I'm in dentist groups on Facebook and I'm in dental assisting groups on Facebook. And so I'm really hearing both sides of it. And I hear dentists and even office managers saying, but we're paying top dollar and we're doing this. And then I hear dental assistants say, you won't believe what they're paying me and I can make more at Target. And it's dental assistants are making more money now. That's all there is to it. I don't want to get into hygiene because I don't know anything about that, but dental assistants, their wages have needed to come up for a long time. I'm just going to say it. They've needed to come up for a long time. There is a lot expected of us on a daily basis. And when we talk about turnover, nobody wants turnover. Nobody wants to have to hire and retrain someone over and over again. It's better to retain your team, right? So what you might think is top dollar might not be top dollar. And what I will tell dentists and office managers all the time was, to me, it's not all about that hourly wage. It's about benefits. What benefits do you have? And David, I still meet doctors that say that don't have, I have always worked in a practice where I had free dentistry for myself and my family. But I still meet doctors all the time that don't even give their own team members free dentistry. And they go to other people who then give them a professional discount. I'm sorry, that's not right. And so, what benefits are you giving to your team to keep them to stay? Things like, of course, a bonus system. We can talk about bonus system, but what about, PTO? What about giving them some paid time off? What about those holidays? And of course, we can talk about bonuses all the time, but what about, uniform allowance, or we're going to purchase your uniforms? To me, there's a lot of things there that we can build into a benefit package that makes keeping our team or acquiring good team members to our practice, a lot more juicier, and they'll want to come work for us, or they'll want to stay working for us if they know that. It's not just about that almighty dollar, but I will tell you, wages have gone up, and I see that doctors are struggling with that, but man, it's about time, I say.
Yeah, there's so much goodness in what you just put out there. So first of all, the number one complaint with team members today, but I know we're talking dental assistants, is wages. And FYI, for wherever you are in this country, dentalpost.net just did a really amazing study, very thorough.
Mm-hmm.
National average is now surpassed $21 an hour for a dental assistant. But if you want to know exactly what your state is up to or down to, check out dentalpost.net. It's an amazing free resource that you can have. And they're great partners with us here at DentistryIQ. So one, check that out. Two, the second biggest problem is the culture of a practice. That was the number two complaint after how much am I getting paid? And you alluded to a lot of ways to help. It's not just the paycheck, it's the benefits, it's the time off, it's the how you're treated, it's everything. So what do you see as like winning culture?
It's creating that family, creating the people that everybody gets along and everybody wants to work there. Work-life balance is so important nowadays. And I know in my profession, dental assisting, we have a lot of single moms out there. And so maybe extra PTO, is just something that they need to, in order to have that work-life balance so that they have more time off. Maybe allowing them to come in a little bit later in the day to get their kids off to school, or a little bit early in the evening to get their kids. I mean, when you create happy employees, no matter what that looks like for each individual team member, you've created a great culture. You've created a culture that people want to be in, that people want to thrive in. If they're struggling back and forth and so-and-so is always taken off and we're always having to do this, and there's not that communication there. If you don't have that communication, then, you're going to be in trouble and your culture is just going to tank, and you can't have that.
I love that. So flexibility, fair word to say, maybe we need to be, I moved to Florida from New York, where it's maybe a little bit more like a palm tree than bending in the wind. I love that. Okay. So that's the dentist side. What about expectations on the dental assistant side? So dentist is going to say, okay, I'm going to be more flexible. I'm going to find those dollars to pay. What can we expect on our side?
Well, you know what? And you're right. It's give and take. And the employer can't be expected to do everything, right? They just can't. So as far as a dental assistant, show up early. Show up early and get your work done. If you need to stay a little later, that's okay too. I've always been that person to come in early and leave late because I knew what I needed to do. If we're a team, and I was just in a conversation with someone on Facebook because they said, we don't take out trash. We don't clean the bathrooms. And I'm like, what? I've done it for my whole 40-year career. So, maybe if the team is jumping in and cleaning the office to where the doctor doesn't have to pay extra for a cleaning service, what about that? That's huge. So, what can you do? And that's a conversation with your employer. I'm big on communication. So just talk to them. Don't be afraid. David, do you know how many people I talk to? They're afraid to have a conversation with their boss, like out of the chair, like chit chat out of the chair. They're like, you want me to talk to them? Yes. Go ask them, what can I do? What can I do to help you? Is there something that I'm not doing that I can do to help you to take something off your plate? I'm sure if they have something, they're going to give it to you. So it is a give and take there. It's just not all about what can your boss do for you. It's what can you do for each other.
I love that. It's so true. And we could talk about this literally for 3 weeks. So I'm going to leave everybody with 4 words, never to say. And I'm like always and never, I usually unplug from my vocabulary, but that's not my job. Let's just erase those from everybody's vocabulary. I love this conversation. I love the communication. Yeah, I love the leadership that you bring to all the assistants. And I'm going to do my share on the dentist side. So thanks for hanging out with us today.
Hey, thank you.